In this session, we will discuss about the introduction to Python. Python introduction. Who invented Python? Python was invented by Guido van Rossum in the year of 1991. Python created, invented by Guido van Rossum in the year of 1991. So majorly Python will be used for different platforms like Windows, Mac, Linux. We can able to work in Python in all the different platforms. Python works on different platforms. Works on different platforms. Windows, Mac, Linux, etc. This is a open source software. We can say Python is open source. What is meant by open source? We can able to download freely from internet, and we can able to use it. So we no need to purchase any license, or we no need to pay any amount for using this particular Python. So because of that only we are going to be say that this is a open source. And Python has a simple syntax which will be simpler and which will be similar to English language, so that we can able to feel easy in writing the Python programs when compared to other programming languages like C, C++, and all. In C, we know pointers concept is there. Pointers is a very, we can say Python is a, sorry, pointers is a heart of C language, but it is difficult and as well as hard. Completely, we are going to be work with the memory, and without pointers, we cannot able to say that the C language will be effective and efficient. So when compared to other languages, we can able to learn Python easily without having any other programming language knowledge. Even the basic learner can able to start with the Python language. That much simple, and the syntaxes will be general English like language. Python has a simple syntax similar to English language. See, Python has a syntax, and based on the syntax, we can able to implement some logics also within few steps. If we are considering to implement the same logic in other languages, if it is taking 100 lines of code, and in Python, we may take less than 100 lines, like either 70 or 80, 90, less than 100 lines. That much simple the syntax is we have in our Python programming. So that is one of the important thing with the Python. Python has syntax that allows developers to write programs with fewer lines than some other programming languages. And we can say Python is a high level programming language and Python is a object oriented programming language. See, Python is a high level language. What is meant by high level language? So basically, if it comes to the language which is used for communication, language is used for communication. Language is used for communication. Okay. So if I want to communicate with another person, I need a language. Or if I want to communicate with a machine, I need a language. For communication purpose, we need languages. How many types of languages we have with the computers? How many types of languages we have? So basically, three types. One is, so we can consider binary level language, which also called as machine level language. Or low level language. And the second one, assembly level programming language. Assembly level language. And third one, we have high level language. Now see, what is meant by machine level language? Machine understandable language. Machine understandable language will be called as machine level language. So the computer will understand only the language considered as zeros and ones, because we know that the computer is made up of some small electronic components. If we want to enable some functionality, we need to active that particular electronic component. When we are passing 1 to 8, it is going to be active. When we are want to disable some functionality or some electronic components task, so we need to pass it as 0, so that it is going to be off that particular functionality or the functionality of that particular electronic component. Because of that, even today also, the computer will understand only the language called as machine level language. So machine understandable language will be considered as zeros and ones. Because of that only, we are going to be call it as a binary level language. Binary, in no sense, bits will be having, that is zeros and ones, bits, binary digits. So which is considered as low level language. For a human being to write the instructions in binary level language is difficult. We can have the capability to write the instructions, and if we want to write the instructions in binary level language, we need to understand the internal structure or internal functioning of the computer, so that only we can able to write, it. And the functionality, if we want to know, it is very difficult, and also to write the coding in terms of zeros and ones is also difficult. So because of that only, in the next generation of computers we have assembly level language, where we'll be having the mnemonics. Mnemonics, in a sense, the instructions will be in the form like add, sub, mul, move, like, and we are going to be use this to write the instructions directly to the microprocessor kits. When compared to the binary level language, it is somewhat easier for the humans to write the instructions, and here it is going to be become the lengthy in the programming. Because of that only, we have high level languages in the next generation, and the instructions will be general English like statements. Because of that, we can able to understand easily, because we are going to be use English language for communication in our daily life. The instructions, if we are writing in high level programming languages, where we'll be having the syntaxes in the form of English language, the users or the humans can able to remember the syntaxes easily, and can able to write the program without understanding the internal structure of the system. Here we doesn't require internal structure of the system, and how that structure is going to be give its functionality. See, general English like statements. Sorry. C, C++, Java, Python, these are all high level programming languages. So now we are saying that binary level language is the only language understandable by the computer. And we are writing the instructions in high level language, and as well as assembly level language. How the computer is going to be understand these instructions? For that, we have language translators. What is the purpose of using these language translators? What is the purpose of using these language translators? Which is used for translating from one language to other language. That we have compiler, interpreter, and third one we have assembler. See, in these three translators, compiler and interpreter will be used for converting the high level language instructions into machine level language. To convert high level language instructions into machine level language. So then what is the difference? Both are used for converting high level language instructions into machine level language. Then what is the difference? See, compiler will read all instructions from source file at a time and converts into machine level language if there is no syntax error. If no syntax error. But whereas coming to interpreter, will read only one instruction from a source file in single go at a time. Single go innocence at a time, and converts into machine level language if no syntax error. So that is a difference between, like, in the interpreter, it is going to be read only one line of instruction at a time, and that is going to be converted into machine level language. Again, it is going to be read one line of instruction, and that will be converted into machine level language. Like at a time, it will read only one line of instruction from a source file, and that is going to be converted into machine level language if there is no syntax error. Syntax error, in a sense, as per the any language will be having some rules what we have to follow while writing the program. If you are missing any of the rule, then it is going to be reported that error as syntax error. It should not contain any syntax error. And whereas coming to this assembler, which is used for converting assembly level language instructions into machine level language. That is the purpose of using assembler, to convert assembly level language instructions into machine level language. Now we will see which languages will be used, compilation languages. Like example, C, C++, Java. So Java will be having both compiler and as well as interpreter. And Python is only the interpretation language. JavaScript we have, which is also interpretation language. Now we can say that Python is an interpretation language. Python is an interpretation language. Okay, so this is all about the different types of languages and what is high level language, and what will be the different types of languages, and what will be the language translators we have. And next, if you see, Python is an object oriented programming language. Python is an object oriented programming language. Now, if you see, class, object, data abstraction, data encapsulation, polymorphism, inheritance. So these all will be considered as object oriented programming characteristics. Object oriented programming characteristics. or paradigm. If any language is satisfying all these characteristics, then that particular language will be called as object oriented programming language. C++, Java, Python, all are object oriented programming languages. And now if you see, we are saying that Python is open source and we can able to download it from Python website. We'll see what it is. Python available for download from this particular website, www.python.org. So we'll have a look into that particular website now. So just entered into Python website. So this is python.org. Sorry. This is python.org. In the downloads, we can able to see here Windows, Mac OS, and other platforms. So first, if we want to download the Python software for Windows, we have to go Windows. And if you see the latest versions, what we have released from Python, they all we can see the list. So this is 3.9.8, which cannot be used on Windows 7 or the previous operating systems of Windows 7. We have 3.10. So we are going to be download which is suitable to our operating system, either 64-bit or 32-bit. So based on that, we can able to download and we can able to install. That we will see in another session, how we can able to download the Python software and how we can able to install into our system, and which will be suitable, that and all we will discuss in another session. We are going to be discuss, or we are going to be learn about Python 3. There will be two releases from Python 2 and Python 3. So we have the differences. It is not the extension version of Python 2. That is, Python 3 is not an extension version of Python 2. It is like C and C++. Some syntaxes will be different in Python 2 and Python 3. So that we will discuss. And we'll come back. So that is a website where we can able to download Python. And what we have, we can able to connect the Python to data systems or the database systems. It can also read and modify files. Python can connect to database systems. It can also read and modify files. And we can use Python for handling big data and perform some complex mathematical task as well, because Python is very rich in its libraries. Will be having more number of libraries in Python, which will be used for calculating or to perform any mathematical task as well. That also we'll discuss. Python can be used to handle big data and perform complex mathematics. Okay, so this is what we have, the introduction, and in the next session we will see the features of Python. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any queries, you can mention in the comments. Thank you.